Hello everyone and welcome to Caroline's Craft Tree. Today I am going to do a little mask make. Of course I'm not going to do the whole mask make, but I wanted to show how I prepare my stuff and just kind of what I do. So I had this paper collection, 36 pages of early bird collection. It's a Bow Bunny thing. No idea where I got it. I think there was a couple pages missing, so somebody either gave it to me or I found it at the thrift store or something. So I decided I'm going to use up all of this paper pack and make some projects. What I'm going to make are these little journal card holder pocket thingies, and they've got a tag here. And because it's a paper pad, everything kind of goes together. So that was kind of nice. I usually start by making a prototype or what I want to make, so I have it in my head of what I want to do. So that's what these are. Now, I've got a lot of stuff prepped, and this is how I do it, because I'll do it all at one time. I'll determine how many I'm going to make. In this case, I believe there's 15, and it was based on how many pages were in the paper pack. And I go and I get all my stuff ready for each one. So I'm going to do enough for 15. So I went and I looked in all my stuff and I got 15 more little picture card things that I had, all different types, just something that was about the right size, and I've inked them all. So now I've got my pile of those. Now I've got all this in a lid of like a gift box. Because then if I'm not working on it, I can just move it off my desk. Now I've got the papers that I'm going to be using as my back. I've gone ahead and ripped all my little pieces of vintage book pages. It's like a dictionary type book. So I've got all those. I've got all my tabs from my whale tail punch. I've got them all punched out and distressed, folded, so they're ready to go. So I will do all of these. I will do all of these. I will do all of these as I go along. I've got my little die cuts. I made these a while back out of greeting cards, and they just happen to look really cute dangling from the tab. And most of the colors, I think I'll be able to find something that works. I've pre-cut some pieces. These are 6 inches by 1.5 inch. Those are going to be for here. Because this paper is not double-sided, I didn't want white there, so that's why I cut these strips. And as I said, because it's a paper pack, all the colors kind of go together, so they'll be easy to mix and match. Then I've taken some of the paper pads, I've cut them in half, so they're 3 inches wide, and I cut about 3/4 of an inch. These are 5 1/4 long. Now these are going to be the tabs or the journal cards. Now I'm not going to make all these on camera, of course, because that's just going to take too long. But I'm going to do one of them to show you how I assemble them. So let's go ahead. We'll take one of each thing out of here. Now, I'm not really picky on what colors I use, etc. Okay, let's just set that whole thing aside. So we've got all our pieces that we need. We've got art glitter glue. Now some things I can do beforehand, but I didn't want to do it all. So my paper, and I'm just going to fold it so there's, I don't know, about an inch there. And I'm just going to fold it. Now normally I would fold them all. Okay. So before I forget, and actually my next step would be to ink this edge. Because of the fact once it's glued down, of course I won't be able to ink that. Now my next step would be to put this piece down over here. So let's do that. I got this here. Let's just quickly throw on all the glue onto there. And let's just glue this down to here. Okay, there's that step. Okay, so this is glued down. Now I can take my little corner punch. This is a 1/2 inch. It's an EK Success one. Bought it off of Amazon. And I'm just going to corner those 2 outside corners. Now, and of course I would do that to them all as I went along. Then I'm just going to ink up all this edge all the way around. And although some of these I may glue down, others I might slip into a pocket. So I am going to ink this other side just so it's done. And again, I would do that with all of them. Now I'm going to take my piece of paper and glue it down. And yes, I would do this step on them all. Find it easier to repeat the same step over and over and then move on to the next one. Okay, let's put that down. And I can put it anywhere. And then my picture is going to go on top of that. So you're only going to see a little bit of that page. Let's glue down our little picture. All these pictures were ones I've had printed for who knows how long. I just went through my little box and picked out some that were about the right size. I did trim a few of them down a little bit. But it's nice to be using stuff up. Now I can glue this down by running some glue here and here and pushing that down. Now I'm probably going to make some so it would go this way. So I would put these the other way and make sure that the paper is going the right way if it's directional. Then we've got our journaling card, and I'm just going to make sure it fits into there, which it does. So I will go ahead and I will glue the tab up. And I will put that on here, trying to make it fairly even. And then we've got this little piece, and I just thought that would be it's kind of nice to have something on the front of this. It's not required, and I happen to have some leftover pieces from a project, so I figured, well, let's use them up. And again, I would do all this at one time. Each step is another process for all the ones I want to make. Got that on there. So once I had all of those done, I would take my crocodile. We are memory keepers, and punch my hole in my tab. Now I don't use this for putting my grommets in because it will mess up every time for me. Now let's just get a grommet. I got some mixed colored ones here. Now for my grommet, I use this little tool. This is a Making Memories set. Now I can punch holes, I can set grommets, and I'm not sure, there's a couple other things, I'm not sure what they are. But this works every single time for me. It is this here, this end comes out, and this twists. So when I store it, I make sure I can see this little green mark. And when I'm going to punch my grommets in, I turn that down so the green is covered. They give you a mat. And I put my grommet in, like so. Tip it upside down. Now this does make a little bit of noise, so I won't talk while I'm doing this, and I'll take the sound out of the video. But I just put it on top of there, and I push it down. It's like spring-loaded. Like this is spring-loaded. You gotta press pretty hard. And I usually have to do it about 2 to 3 times to make the grommet in there. So let's go ahead and I'll do that. So when I'm done, I feel to make sure the back is flat. Now you can see how nicely that put that in there. I really love this tool. It's kind of a pain digging it out when I want it, but I like it. So that is what I use. And as I say, it works every time. Now that we got the grommet in there, we can take one of our tags that I made previously, and you could just tie these on because the string's already tied. The last one I put in, I just put it in and I just looped my tag through the hole. And just let it hang there. I'll trim these off a little bit. And there is our little pocket tag thingy. But I think they turned out really cute. And as I say, now I've got another 14 to make. But easy. I could glue them down. I could glue them and just glue the top and bottom so they'd be like a belly band. put it on the edge and just make a pocket. I could glue it right down. I could slide it into another pocket because it is small enough. The patterns, most of the patterns, I think you could write on the back if you wanted. You could put in a couple of tags. You could just glue the top and the bottom of your little picture and use it for a belly band type thing. Lots and lots of possibilities. Easy to make. They'll go in just about any journal, I think. But they turned out good. And I just wanted to share how I do my mass make. All my mass make things I'll do relatively in the same fashion if I can. Not all things work out this way, but that works. Like when I did these tags, I went and I punched everything with my dies, and then I just had piles of them, and I just said, okay, well, you know, this butterfly looks good with that color. You know, some are using the negatives. So, you know, I cut the tag out, used my die to cut the tag out, and then I used another die to cut out the center. And I probably made like 100 of those. Quick, easy project. So that's what I'm going to do. I'm going to finish all these up before I move on to anything else. And check out all my other videos. And like, subscribe, share, hit the notification bell, all that stuff. And we'll see you soon. Bye for now.